Hi guys, welcome to Sabrina's Craft-nanigans, where we have some fun. I want to say thank you to all my subscribers, viewers, and all your sweet comments. Welcome to our 5 Under 5, the Christmas kickoff, hosted by Farm Charm Cheat and Divine Designs. These ladies are beautiful. Go see them. Here's DIY number 1. We're going to take this little joy plaque that I found at a church garage sale that was like $1. Going to sand that puppy off. Got most of the joy off. My electric sander broke, so didn't have it. Did the best I could with my hand sander. Took the string off. Gonna use our plaster Waverly chalk paint and gonna give this whole sucker a good paint. I did have to paint over that joy about 5 times. 5. Do you hear me? 5. I said 2, but it was 5. Finally got that sucker done. Used my Cricut. If you don't have a Cricut, guys, you can write it, but I don't trust my handwriting. You can stencil it. I just wanted to use my Cricut. It says Mooey Christmas Heifers. And then I made me a little heifer with a Santa hat. Getting those stuck on just like that, because our little theme is going to be Heifer Christmas here. Going to take my antique wax and a distressing, stippling chippy brush, and I'm going to go around all these edges, back and front, and then all over the whole thing. And then if you've watched me before, you know I'm going to take a wipey, and then I'm going to wipe it all off. Yeah, this is how I do. I rub it all over, and then I wipe it all off, and then you're going to see me pick up the brush again and do it again, because that's just how I roll. And there she is. Ain't she a beaut? Gonna make a lark's head knot where you just make the loop, pull the strings through the loop like I showed you. Thought that was pretty cute. Tied a knot on the other end so you can hang it, or it can be a shelf sitter. I'm going to light things on fire and then wipe all my ashes off and make sure I'm all clean. Please do in a well-ventilated area, and please be careful. I decided to take this little metal star that came free from a friend. I just popped the pokey part off of that. I'm going to glue it to the top of my ribbon. Going to use a little E6000 with some hot glue since it is metal. Little dot in the middle right there, and then just going to glue it where that knot is on top. You could add other foliage and pine stems and berries. You could do whatever you wanted to this. I just wanted to add the star. Here's DIY number 2, heifer style. I'm going to take this block that was just in my stash, sand it, paint it with plaster. Going to take those 3 foam cubes from the Dollar Tree. I had to buy 2 packs because they only come 2 in a pack, but still pretty cheap. I'm going to take my Imperial Red and I'm going to paint those guys. But before I paint my dice, I'm going to put a skewer on each end, and you'll notice I'm putting it on the end that has a little bit of the trademark code writing on it. And then I'll stick them in the foam to get them to dry. Those took about 4 or 5 coats. The wooden plaque only took about 2 of the plaster. But that red, yeah, they took some. Here we go. Going to use my just Cricut again. I have an Explorer. It's great. It's wonderful. I love it. I'm just trying to make sure that the hole is on the bottom where the skewer was. And I'm picking the side that has the least amount of dots still showing. And my dots, bleh, words, y'all. My cubes, my dice are going to say ho, ho, ho. And I'm going to put my heifer on the side right there. Ho, 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 heifer. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my dice, words, telling you they're failing me. Going to glue them. But before I glue them, I'm going to kind of just trace the corners with a pencil to make sure I get those bottom ones in the correct place. Luckily, it's still kind of moving around because it's melting the foam in the meantime. And then I'm going to glue my first hoe right up there on top. So we got ho, 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 heifer. There's my antique wax again and my chippy brush, Dollar Tree chippy brush, y'all. I'm going to go all the way around this white, really get my edges. I'm also going to get the red dice, making sure I go all the way around those. And then just like the last time, I'm going to stipple this like crazy and distress it. And then I'm going to go back with a wipey and wipe it all down. And then I will get the brush after it again. Don't ask me why I do this. I just always get too much, and then I take it off, and then I put more back on. But it always works out for me. I'm good with it. Like I said, I also did the blocks, made sure to go over the ho, ho, ho. You can barely see it, but it is there. Here's some sprigs from the Dollar Tree, but it was free to me from a friend who was giving up her crafting stash. Ribbon, that ribbon was from Michael's, I believe, and then jute twine from the Dollar Tree. I'm just kind of pulled all that apart and I'm putting it on the side. I was thinking about putting it in the middle where the two bottom blocks come together, but it really covered up heifer. So I kind of thought, let me put it on the side. So I put the leaves on, and then I got a couple of pine sprigs here, and I'm going to glue 2 of those on right now, but I'll glue a third one on here in a little bit. And that glue pen by Surebonder, that thing is amazing for little stuff like this. Just amazing. I'm going to take some berries. I really like these berries, and you can see the bigger ones kind of down there to the right above my snips. They're like a darker rustic color. They aren't shiny. They aren't glittery. They're a darker burgundy. And I thought that looked so perfect because I'm going rustic here. So getting those glued on. Had a couple little pine cones. Glued those on. Going to glue another one on in a minute. But first I'm going to add that third pine needle stem. And then once I get that on, yep, getting everything stuck to me but what I want to stick, I'm going to go ahead and stick another pine cone on and another little sprig of berries back there in the back. Getting glue everywhere but where I want it, and it's on me and it's on the pine needles instead of the base where it needs to go. Just kind of trimming things up. Needed another little sprig of berries, like I said. Shove that in there. This is, I'm no florist, guys. I know a lot of us say that. We're no florist. We just make it till it's pretty. You do you, boo. You make it look how you want it to look. You don't have to put this on there at all. I'm going to now take my ribbon. It's celebrated, so it is from Michaels. I'm going to make me a finger bow. I'm going to just loop around all my fingers 3 times with the end. I'm trying to get you guys where you can see this. I'm going to loop it under all of the strings and bring it around to the front. So see, I'll show you again. Loop it under, around. The loop that we made going under. I'm going to tuck my end under and then pull like fire. And you're going to pull like fire so hard that you're going to have trouble getting it off your fingers. But that's a good thing. I'm going to fluff it out a little bit. I'm going to cut the ends of my ribbons to make them even, and I'm not going to do a dovetail or anything, and it'd be great if I had a decent pair of scissors, but story of my life. And I was going to glue this on the bottom, opposite of my little floral pine cone thing over there, but I decided to put it on top of the blocks, or not blocks, the foam dice things. So I glued that on the top. And then I figured it needed just a little bit more. And y'all, I could fluff bows all day. You better be glad I did this and got rid of a lot of the fluffing. Whee! I'm going to do the same thing with twine. I did 2 loops on the twine, I think. I did the same exact thing. Under, over, through the loop, pull it tight, kind of floof it a little bit. And then I'm just sticking that on top of my gingham bow that I got there. And that, again, was darker colors. And it was beige, creamy color, not white. So that's why I like that ribbon. And then these berries are a little bit bigger than the other little red ones in the pine floral over there. So I'm gluing 2 brown ones on and then the red one on top. I'm just trying to figure out how I like them. Did I want 2 red, 1 brown, or 2 brown, 1 red? I went with 2 brown, 1 red. So get the red one on. And then I'm just cutting all the little stems off, and I'm literally just putting the glue on the berries, and they're literally foam. So get all those stuck on in the middle of my bow, and there she is. Here we go for DIY number 3. You might have saw in the background of my other one, this little red truck. This little red truck came from the Dollar Tree. Yes, ma'am, $1.25. Not dollar, the $1.25. I painted it with the same red that I painted my blocks with. That Imperial by Folk Art, I think. You get it at Walmart. I first brushed it with the brush, and now I'm doing the sponge just to make sure everything was smooth. Going to take my black, and I'm just painting the bottom part of the tire. I'm always so confused if I should just paint the bottom part of the tire or go all the way around and make it look round. Is the fender covering part of the tire, or should the whole tire be sticking out? I just did halfsies this time. So you can see I did that. I'm going to take my antique wax, and I'm going to make this a little darker than just distressing. And I'm taking it because I want it to look like rust. And I'm just really putting it on the fenders. So you can see that it looks quite a bit different than the rest. I'm just really, really, really stippling that on those fenders. And I'm going to do that to both sides, of course. I'm putting it on there. I did not brush as much off as I usually do. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I am going to go over the whole thing, just not as much as I did on the fenders. I wanted to have that rusty old farm truck look, okay? I'm just taking a silver Sharpie right here. You can see I just put it in the hole, put it in the door handle, and I just stuck the tip in and just rubbed it and twisted it. And that seemed to give it a little highlight on the edge. I'm also doing the same thing with my bumpers. Sharpies, paint pens, what you paint, you do you, boo. The Sharpie was the first thing I saw, so that's what I did. There you go. Did my handles and my bumpers. Now, these are silicone beads. Yes. I've got the white hubcap. Yep. All I did was literally stick those in. The heifer, that is a little silicone bead as well, and he is going to be our driver. I am putting glue on this, but I'm sure all of you are going, well, that wasn't smart because glue doesn't stick to silicone. Hence why you have the blue silicone mat on your table, genius, so that you can pull the hot glue off. The bind was not on at the time. So they keep popping off. I keep adding more hot glue and then realize, So I added a little E6000 to them, but didn't show you all that. Took my Posca white paint marker and added just some little details to make it pop a little bit. Went to my Cricut again and heard it was Christmas. Yes, that is purposely misspelled wrong. I am an English teacher, so we're good. I know, that's why I capitalize it. At this point, I want to thank all my amazing, beautiful subscribers. You have so made my day watching, viewing, commenting, liking. Y'all are like the best. And even if you don't subscribe, you guys are amazing. That metal pick I just had, I got free from a friend, but I do believe they came from Michael's. She got them after Christmas, so it was probably like 50 cents. I didn't want the whole thing. I just wanted the trees, so I used some snips and cut off the trees. I'm putting the tape around it to give it something to stick to the truck to. I'm going to put the hot glue on the tape because we know that hot glue don't stick to metal. I did remember that. And then I glued it to the back of my truck. And there's our heifer. Here, and it was Christmas. Here's our 5 under 5. I hope you guys are enjoying. See all these lovely ladies in my playlist in my description. Make sure you go by and see Emily and Christine. Here's DIY number 4. This is my favorite. This was my very first time. I have seen people do the tissue decoupage trick. So I have a piece of white cardstock and I taped it all the way around to my piece of white tissue paper, crossing my fingers, and it worked! I found that awesome, amazing, cute heifer off Creative Fabrica. And I just stuck that tissue paper taped to the cardboard through my printer, and it worked. I was so excited, and it's all flying everywhere because I'm so excited. Okay, this little wooden piece, I don't have any idea where that came from. This was more stuff that was free in my stash from my friend Shelly. I love you, baby. I'm going to sand it down just a little. I had to give it 2 coats of the plaster white. Yes, I like plaster because I don't like that stark white. I'm taking a paintbrush, which is supposed to be a water brush, but the water wasn't coming out. So I dipped it, and this just gives it a more ragged edge so it doesn't look so just cut and straight. Using Mod Podge and then smoothing it out, and I'm just doing little parts at a time. This didn't come out great. Like I said, guys, this was my very first time to do the print on tissue paper decoupage thing. I have decoupaged cardstock and things like that, but I've never decoupaged something really, really thin like this. So I did have some trouble. I remember seeing people do the plastic wrap thing, so I tried that. That still didn't work very good, but it did get some of the crinkles, and bubbles out. I'm giving her a coat all on top, but then also know that we can take our little iron and a piece of parchment paper and we can iron it, and that really helped. Now I'm taking my plaster and a little sponge brush and going around the edge so that the edge of the tissue paper where I ripped it blends in with the plaster background of the wooden panel. I believe the wooden panel did have a price tag of like $5.99. But I can guarantee you, it was free to me because it came from my friend Shelly, my favorite heifer. But I can tell you that she doesn't buy anything unless it's like on sale 70% off. So it was probably 50 cents. I decided that this was too plastery. So I got my red and just went around the edges. I didn't want to do the inside because I didn't feel like taping it off and that round part, and I was in a hurry. Here goes my cricket again. Holy cow, it's Christmas. And I figured that fit that heifer perfectly. Oh my God, I love Highland heifers, y'all. I have that buffalo check ribbon that I got on sale after Christmas from the Walmart last year. I just looped it to give me 3 loops, bent it in the middle to find my middle, and then just cutting a little bit in. I'm going to take some black wire from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just cinching that up and twist, 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 and then I'm going to dovetail the ends on these. That other ribbon that's red and burlap, I thought kind of matched if you got a close-up view of the ornaments that are hanging from the heifer's horns. It's got swirlies on it, so it like matched perfect. That was just a chunk of ribbon that I had that came from my BFF heifer, Shelly. I love you, Shelly. And so that was free to me too. It was just a chunk piece remnant she had left over. I know this probably isn't the best way, so this is all wire tied with the same wire tie that I did with the buffalo check black and white. I just then added the red and burlap ribbon and twisted it all together. So I'm just kind of looping that up and over, gave myself some tape right there and put that on. That's just painter's tape, y'all. And now I'm just hot gluing it in some places. I kind of tucked those in. You can see I added about a 3 or 4, I think, loop jute bow at the top to go in the middle. And here we go, distressing with my antique wax. And I'm just kind of just going around the edge, blah, 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 blah. Fluff that bow 100 times, so be glad I edited it, or you'd see me for 500 more times. I'm going over the whole thing, distress, distress, distress. I don't think I wiped this off, though. I think I left it the way it was, didn't I? Oh, no, I didn't. There goes the wipey. There it goes. There she is. Oh, but isn't she so cute? Holy cow, it's Christmas. She's my favorite. DIY number 5, y'all. The last one. Cheap, budget friendly. There's a Dollar Tree thing from 4th of July. And those 3 clay pots came from the Dollar Tree. Those are the little small ones. So it's probably another $1.25 because I think they come in a 3-pack. I'm going to paint one of them with plaster, and they took 2 coats. And then I'm going to paint 2 of them with that Imperial Red by Folk Art or Home Decor. It's Walmart, okay? And so 2 of those are red, and I'm going to paint one of them white. They all took 2 coats. I also painted the inside of the metal bottle cap. I'm going to take 3 jingle bells, which came from my friend Shelly, so they cost me absolutely nothing, but I'm pretty sure those came from Hobby Lobby on sale. I'm going to use my jute twine. I'm tying a knot in it, and I'm just putting glue on the knot, not the bell, because I don't want to mess up the jingle jingle. Tying a big long string, I went ahead and got me all 3 strings, tied all 3 of the bells to the end. Now I'm taking me a piece of Scotch tape and I'm wrapping the other end of the twine. No, I did not paint the inside of the clay pots. I was too lazy, you know. I was in a time crunch here, folks. I'm doing this voiceover the day that this has got to go live. Okay, so here comes Moose joining us. What I'm doing is I'm typing. Yeah, you are. Sure you are. Tying a knot up a little up above the jingle bell, because I want the jingle bell to hang a little bit. I don't want it all up at the top of the pot. So you can see it kind of hangs out a little bit. See there? Ding, 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 ding. Ha ha. Remember, we're doing heifers. These are cowbells. I didn't have actual cowbells, so I had to just kind of come up with something. Now, there's 2 holes there where the jute twine was to hang that bottle cap. I'm going to take my painter's tape, cover up one of them, and just put some caulking in it and cover it up. This is a perfect color. I didn't have to worry about it or anything like that. I'm filling in that one hole. I'm going to use the other hole to loop my jute string in. And I'm making sure all those strings are even. I'm taping all of them up so I can get it through the hole and make sure they stay even. And I know you're thinking, well, now how are you going to hang it? We'll get to that. I just got me a drill, and I do not have drill bits that drill through metal. So if anybody has any wise ideas besides just buying metal drill bits, let me know. So once again, I tied that, once I got the tape off, I tied that in a knot, and I put some hot glue on the knot just to make sure it doesn't come loose. And then I make sure that all that gets pulled through that hole. So yeah, we got that little hanging out there. But look, and I made them all 3 different sizes. You can see how my white paint got onto my red bells. but I fix that later. Here we go with my Cricut and my vinyl again. Cowbells ring. Are you listening? And there she is. I just rounded it off. Taking my antique wax, of course. And I'm going to do all the bells, which I should have done this before I put the string through and attached it all together, because I was dropping them, and I don't know if I edited some of that out or what, but this was a hot mess, y'all. It turned out so good, but I kept dropping them, and they were falling all over and hitting each other. And then, as usual, I wipe them off. And then, as usual, I think, nope, that's not enough. Let me go back and put more on now. The white one was really about 5 times wipe, distress, wipe, distress. Got that done. You also notice that I did the inside of the metal cap where my vinyl is. So here's how we're going to hang it. I just took some of that same ribbon we used on our ho-ho-ho heifers. I kind of made a cancer awareness ribbon, glued it on the back. That's why I left that paper on the back, because it gave it something for it to stick to. Had I tried to get that off, it'd just be metal again. So I make the loop, glue that on, and then take 2 extra strips of ribbon and glue that over where it crossed to give it some more stability. Made a cute little finger bow, just like you saw me do earlier, and I'm just gluing that right on top in the middle. And there she is. Cowbells ring, are you listening? Isn't that cute? I'm so excited, as you could tell. We can now get our tape off. That hole's filled in. Yeah, kind of noticeable. But here you go, guys. Here's our 5, and each one of these was under $5, because most of this stuff came free for me, or it came from the Dollar Tree, or like the one thing with mooey Christmas heifers, that big wood chunk came from a Christmas garage sale for $1. So all of these total, each one was probably no more than $3. Because we're not counting paint. Ribbon was even scraps. You know, the jute twine is cheap. All the floral stuff I had in my stash from my great friend Shelly. I really hope you all enjoyed this. If you liked, make sure you comment, subscribe. I love every one of you.